Good morning, my dear friends. I hope your weekend is off to a fantastic start. We are going to do Margarete Miller Collage Assignment today. Week 36 is what I'm working on. So a button. The first prompt is a button, and I have a button running around my desk here somewhere. Just a button. I stole it out of a packet of, the spare buttons that you get with clothing. So I don't know what it belongs to. Something that I'm wearing currently, I think. Like, not right now, but, in my wardrobe. But have no idea what. Anything postal related. I have this strip of New Zealand stamps. They're all Kiwi themed, so each one is different. And I really like that it's the whole set. So that's postal related. Something that lays eggs. I have this cutout of one of my children's books with this bird. Birds lay eggs. Something that turns or spins. Well, I have a couple of things. One is the clock, which wasn't my first choice for that. My actual first choice was this image here from a Richard Scarry book of these animals in a circle holding hands doing a dance. So they're turning in a circle. So that's for that prompt. A photo. And I have just cut out an image from a magazine because it is a photo. It's not like a photo that I've taken and printed out, but it's a photo. And the bonus is floral pattern paper, which I've just taken this wee snippet out of my flow book for paper lovers. So I'm going to stick this down first, is what I'm going to do, because it's going to be in behind some other elements. I've kind of worked out the composition already, so this video is probably not going to be overly long. Mind you, they're not normally, are they? These collage videos, normally fairly short, which I think is just perfect for a weekend, got weekend plans, things to do, family home or whatever. So a nice short video is just what the doctor ordered, shall we say. So there we go, there's our floral pattern paper. And I'm going to stick this image down here, and I was going to cut around and cut the text out, and I thought, actually, I'm not worried about the text. I think it's just a lovely little touch. Doesn't add to my story at all today, but that's okay. So it's a story about May Day, it seems. I haven't actually read the book. I just recently picked this book up actually last week, so I've had it a week and a day by the time you see this video. And I picked this book up for free because it was in the recycle box with its cover ripped off, and the rest of the pages were actually still intact, so I grabbed it. Got to check out the free boxes at Book Barn because you never know what you're going to come across. Okay, my little photo here I'm going to glue on as a pocket for the prompts. Yes, I'm remembering. Woohoo! I'm not going to be at the end of this video going, oh, where am I going to put my prompt list now? I have an idea for next year's collage too, which I'm kind of just still pondering exactly how it's going to work, but I think it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not sure that I'm going to be doing Margarete Miller. I don't know whether she's producing a new list for next year. I imagine she is, but I might just switch things up a little, but like I said, still kind of pondering. Okay, I'll get to the story once I've got everything glued down. So here's my strip of postal stamps. Let's put those on. Zoomy zoom with the glue. And that's going right up the top here. Where it's going over the tree, but largely blank space, blank book page space. So there's those stamps. Now our clock with the birdie. I was having a look at all these animals and it's like, I don't think any of those animals pictured lay eggs. They all produce live offspring. But I would have gone with a separate image anyway for something that produces eggs, because I like to try and use separate elements, not use the same thing for more than one, even though they do cross over, like this is turns or spins, because the hands on the clock turn, or do they spin or turn? I don't know, doesn't matter. So there we go, there's the birdie there. And then our prompts go there, and now just the button. How do I want to glue the button on? I think I'm going to use my premium craft glue for this and hope that it adheres nicely. I did think about going with a printable button, but I think I'm all out of my printable buttons, so I need to print some more off. I could have made one as well, made a paper button, but I was like, no, I am going to use an actual button this time. And it's relatively flat. Sorry, just waiting for the glue to come down. There we go. Because it's quite low, this glue. I haven't used it lately because I've been like hoarding it, if I can say that, because I bought the fabric glue instead because they were out of this one. Well, actually they had the smaller one, but it's much more expensive to buy the smaller container. So I thought I'd try the fabric glue. So I've kind of been hoarding what's left of that, just using it when I really need it. Okay, so that should hold that nicely. Okay, so we've got all our prompts on the page. So the story today, we've got a group of friends and they're having a party. And as part of the party, have you ever played, now what's the name of it? Musical chairs? Yeah? No, familiar with the game? So musical chairs, you dance around in a circle, and when the music stops, you go for a chair, but there's one less chair than there are people. And so whoever doesn't get a chair is out of the game, and then they remove a chair. And just in case anyone's not familiar with it, because I'm just, better not assume that everybody knows musical chairs. So these children are playing a version of musical chairs, only there's no chairs at all. So they're just sitting on the ground. And the cuckoo clock, whenever the cuckoo clock chimes, so it's popped out here, it's chiming, is when they start dancing. And then when the birdie goes back inside the cuckoo clock, then they all sit on the ground. So there's no like loser, they don't go out of the game, but they're having an absolute blast dancing around to the cuckoo clock. And when it goes back inside its house, and they all sit down and they laugh and they chatter, and then the bird pops out and goes cuckoo, cuckoo, and up they get and they all dance around again. So they're just having so much fun, innocent child fun. But unfortunately, not all of their friends could make the party. So their friend, the alpaca, had something else on and couldn't come. And the family of Kiwis, well, the Kiwis are all the way over here in New Zealand, and this party's happening somewhere else. I don't know where. So to remember their friends that couldn't make the party, they've got their images up so they can just be part of it without actually being there. So they're good friends. They are very strong friends, and so they wanted to remember their friends that couldn't make it. So that's the story. Very simple, very quick. Not a lot to it really. I'm just going to tuck in our wee list here. I left a bit on the edge here so that it doesn't kind of get lost in the pocket. So it just pokes out a little bit there. That's the Margarete Miller challenge for, what week was it? Week 36. Well, really, really short. I'm wondering whether I should grab the books and show you. Do you want to see the books I got? I reckon you probably do. I'm going to pause the camera, go and grab the books that I got last week, and let's have a wee look-see. So I'm going to start with these 3 books. These were all free from an op shop. and I thought they were cute. So there's this cute kitty cat runs up a tree, and I got it because it's got cats. I actually read this story to my husband the night that I got the book. It's just a, typical little children's story, but I got it because it's about cats and it was free. Very cute. This word book, again, I got for the images. It's got some really lovely illustrations, and I thought these alphabet borders down here were quite fun. They're on every page. There's little alphabet tabs and some nice big letters. So just really cute, really fun, and again, free. And the final free book, I saw the spine of this book and I thought, oh, cool, foreign text. It is Chinese, because I've translated some of it, and I wish it was in English so I could understand it, because using the translator app on Google is a bit tedious if you were going to use it, because it's actually a drawing book. It's a book on how to draw different things. Beautiful illustrations, beautiful matte paper, and just wonderful step-by-step guide to drawing. Now, I could follow along and kind of do a little bit, and I might try it. But of course, all the tips and everything are all in Chinese. So I got it because I could see that the illustrations are beautiful, some foreign text. I love foreign text. But now I'm looking at, when I had a proper look at it, once I got it home, it was like, this looks like a really good, helpful drawing book. I just can't understand it. So they were all free. So from the book barn, I got, this is the Richard Scarry book that I got free. So, in pretty good condition, apart from missing the front cover, which is fine because I'm going to be cutting it up anyway. And I also got this free. It's a diary that's never been used, and it's got some interesting bits and pieces in it. Looks like it's kind of aimed for more of a male or a boy, because it's got lots of like trains and planes and very what I would say boy oriented images, and the style of it as well, and like Batman. So to me it reads that it was aimed more at a boy, but just really fun, good paper. Of course I'm going to grab it for free. Okay, so a couple of bird books. Now we're into what I paid for. So this one, Common Birds in New Zealand. It's got an interesting textured plastic cover on it, but beautiful book plates, illustrations of New Zealand birds, and lovely metal spiral too. I wonder if I can reuse that. And this one, Burrowing Birds. I think this is all black and white from memory. Yes, black and white. But again, beautiful illustrations and a New Zealand book as well, I think. Although some of these I haven't heard of, so some I have, some I haven't. Yeah, but really lovely. Okay, just throwing them on the floor as I go through them. This one really intrigued me. It's a French book, but this is what intrigued me. Can you see that colour? I don't know if it's showing up. Every single page is green, kind of a spearminty green with French text. But it's the colour of the paper that really got me, and there are some unusual illustrations, shall I say. They're kind of a bit weirdish, but they're okay. And it's got a dedication here to the schoolgirl who received this in 1987. But just the fact that the pages are green just intrigued me. I can definitely use it. This one was one of my last minute finds. It's old, 1921. Really, again, it's foreign language. I think French, but I'm not sure. Had this wonderful little piece of envelope tucked inside. Just with a little bit of text on it. I just love that, and I really wanted that bit of envelope. Just beautiful old paper, very crunchy and quite sort of thick. In fact, this is, I haven't actually had a proper look at it. Some of the pages aren't actually cut. That's so funny. Like, that's, can you see that? That page has not been cut, and so it's got pages stuck in between it that are also not cut. How funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Obviously no one read it, because you wouldn't be able to read it like that. It survived over 100 years in that form. Oh, that's hilarious. It's so funny. Anyway, moving on. This cute little Enid Blyton book. It's a very sweet size, and it's just full of beautiful illustrations. Some colour, some black and white. It's just got a whole bunch of them. So really liked that, and I liked the size of it. First thing I picked up in the store were these two books. They are unused. This one has adhesive labels, 8 stickers with the Celtic frames there. So really cool. Never been used. And this little one, a stained glass colouring book. And each page is like, I'm guessing vellum, printed vellum, so that you could colour it and then put it up against a window and have the colour show through. And I thought, how fun would that be in a journal to make a little window and have that. Yeah, I think it would just be cute. Again, unused. So two cute little finds there. This Cat Notebook 2, never been used, and it's got writing space and then some quotes and bits and pieces if you would, and beautiful little cat illustrations. So I had to have that. Just really lovely, really nice sort of cover too, like we could turn that into some ephemera. This book I had a really good look at. It's really intriguing. It doesn't have the dust jacket. It's called Forever Friends, and it's got beautiful images, but I love the background. Like, this is grid paper in the background. It's got like little stamped numbers. It's done very much in what I would call a junk journal style, in that it's made to look kind of vintagey. It's got age spots, which are not through age, they are actually printed as part of the book. Just gorgeous, and big areas of colour that I can use. Really sweet illustrations that I can use, like this tree here is a bit of book page. I think it's fascinating. This is like a lined bit of note paper with a stamped number on it. This is grid paper, this is different lined paper, and this is a bit of ledger paper. So I find it fascinating that they've done that. Really, really interesting. Beautiful colours, beautiful textures. And I think there's more. Yep, here we have more kind of vintage lined paper and grid paper up there that's used in the background, even with the crease line in there and the red line from the margin of the paper. Fascinating. I just think it's just right up our alley as junk journalists. That one's a bit sad, but I love the textures going on. But the bunny's sad because he's missing his friend. So again, more grid paper and various types of paper used in the background. And I thought these would be really cool cut into tags for the seasons. I'm showing you right through this book because I just find it quite fascinating. And you know, the images themselves are quite small. A lot is spent on the background. And just spotted up here, there's another leaf made out of book page. Up here it's got some text on this. It's got a paid stamp. What's the date? 1934. And then it's got a date here on like typewritten date upside down on the edge of the paper, which is September 21st, 1934. I just find it really fascinating. Right. I do have one more book from the book barn, but before I show that, because it really is the piece de resistance, I'm just both overwhelmed by it, excited by it, but unsure what I want to do with it. And you'll find out why in a minute. But at an emporium, which is a combination of lots of different vendors, all in a really old building, there was a new guy had just set up. I got talking with him, and he had this book for $6. It's from 1942. It's really lovely. Got some really interesting lists and bits and pieces. It's a bit stained. It's got some images. Really loved it. He gave it, well, he didn't give it to me, but he let me have it for $5. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yep, $5. So I was happy to pay $6, but he only wanted $5. So that was cool. So I picked up that one. That was the only thing I picked up at the emporium. Now let me show you my treasure. My absolute treasure. I didn't even look at it properly in the shop because I saw it. I thought, even if they charge me $30, I need this book. It is damaged. It's, the cover's torn. The spine is torn. I don't know if you can see. I might be too up in your face, but this is all like been eaten away. Very rounded at the top there. There's some wormholes in the top, at the top end of those pages as well. But I didn't truly appreciate what I had until I got it home. Now, at Book Barn I also picked up a novel. So in total I got 14 books. That's including the 2 freebies. And I paid $15 all up for 14 books. Amazing, right? But even more amazing is this. Like, I would have been prepared to pay $30 for this on its own. All I saw was basically, I opened it and saw these loose pages, and I thought, I think that's rag paper. I'm pretty sure it is rag paper. I'm not 100% certain because don't think I've ever experienced rag paper before. It's kind of got a line texture through it. So there was all these kind of bits of stained, aged paper. There's quite a few of them at the front. And then we get a bit of text. It's in a foreign language. All stained, dirty, beautiful. There's a plate here. Beautiful old image. And then this is kind of like the title, well, it is the title page. Can you see that? It is, we translated it using the Google app. It is a dictionary of French and Dutch, or Dutch and French. So I think the words are in Dutch and the definitions are in French. Printed in the Netherlands. But get this. Can you see that date there? Can you see that date? 1758. I'm just gobsmacked. 1758. It is so incredibly rare to find something this old here in New Zealand. I mean, New Zealand as a nation was only formed in like 1840. We're a very young country. Obviously, this didn't originate here in New Zealand. It was brought over probably by a whaler or something. But just to find something like this in New Zealand is incredibly special. I bought it because I thought, yes, foreign language, beautiful paper, quite poor condition, until you realize that it's 266 years old. And then you go, actually, it's in really good condition for that age. Really good condition. It's just stunning. It also has a number of pressed leaves in amongst it, and also, if I can find one, it had other little surprises tucked in. I've just got to try and find one besides the leaves. If I can, sorry, I should have perhaps looked out one, because I left them all where they were. I should have pulled one out before I did, but it was a spur of the moment to do this on video, so there's a number of them, and I'm struggling to find any of them now. There's a wee holly leaf in there. Okay, this is a big one. A lot of them are just like little squares, but there's beautiful little bits of paper with handwritten text on, and a beautiful script in, I don't know what language. I don't know. Possibly Dutch, looking at it. De Groot? I don't know. I can't read it, but I suspect it's written in Dutch. So just little bits, and often they are with the leaves and are the botanical name of the leaf of the plant that the leaf came from. This one is the biggest bit, but there's numerous of those tucked in amongst the pages, which are just awesome little treasures as well. Yep, I can't find any more off the, just with a quick flip through. So my dilemma is, do I keep this? It is 266 years old. Do I keep it as a treasure? I can't read it. I don't need another dictionary. But it's just the age of it. So I'm going to keep it for a while. I do believe, given the age and where it was printed, we've done a bit of research, we do believe it is rag paper. Yeah, it's giving me such a dilemma. So let me know in comments, if you had this book, would you use it or would you keep it? Because I'm really struggling. I don't know which way I'll go. I'll definitely keep it for a while, and just ponder it, appreciate it for what it is, the history in it, how special it is, particularly here in New Zealand. But let me know if it was yours, if you picked this up. Essentially for a little more than $1, I picked this book up. Can you believe it? I still can't believe it. Use it, vote. Use it or keep it. Keep it as a treasure, or use it because it's also a treasure for junk journaling. I don't know. Yeah, just let me know what you would do personally, what you would do. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me for this little collage video plus a little bit extra. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll be back again on Monday with the Deal It Up challenge. I hope you can come and join me for some crafty fun. Bye everybody.